Good morning everyone. Welcome today for the new session. We have already completed with the topic the ways through which the living organisms adapt themselves. Today we will start with the topic adaptation. Now adaptation means any attribute adaptation means any attribute. Now attribute means quality. So any quality of an organism that enables it to survive and reproduce in its habitat is known as adaptation. In simple words, you can say that adaptation is adjustment to survive in the changing environment. As the environment is changing every now and then, organisms need to adjust. Then only they can survive. So this is known as adaptation. And when the organisms adapt, they form many specialized and peculiar features, and these features help the organisms to survive in the changing environment, and the features evolve over a long period of time. It is not that only with a few days or with few hours or with few weeks the new features will be developed, but it takes very long period of time, and it occurs through natural selection. So adaptation means the adjustment. Okay, let us see the next slide now. Types of adaptations. There are different types of adaptations. Okay, mainly two types of adaptations are there which we will be studying. One is the phenotypic adaptation and the other one is the genotypic adaptations. Okay, now let us see about the phenotypic adaptations in detail. The first type of adaptations, that is phenotypic adaptations. Now this phenotypic adaptation the term has come from the word phenotype. Okay, phenotype means morphology and physiology, right? So the phenotypic adaptations are favorable changes in morphology and physiology which develop in response to changes in environmental conditions. Okay, so because of the phenotypic adaptations, there will be changes in morphology and physiology which will develop in response to the environmental changes. And the ability of a genetically similar population to undergo phenotypic changes means when the genetically similar population, we are talking of many individuals or multiple individuals, okay, which are genetically similar, when they undergo phenotypic changes in response to the changes in the changes in the environment, it is called phenotypic plasticity. What is it called? It is called phenotypic plasticity. Okay, once again, phenotypic plasticity means the genetically similar population undergo phenotypic changes in response to the changing environment. That is called phenotypic plasticity. And the phenotype variants formed in a population due to changes in environment are called ecophenes. The variants which are produced, phenotype variants which are produced in the population due to phenotypic changes, they are called ecophenes. Or they are also called ecades. Okay, So that is all about phenotypic adaptation. Now the second type of adaptation is the genotypic adaptation. Okay, again the word genotypic has been derived from genotype, right? Genotype means genetic variations. So genotypic adaptations means the genetic variations which enable a subpopulation to adapt itself to a particular habitat and environment at conditions. Clear? It is what? Genetic variations. The variations occurs at genetic level which helps the subpopulation to adapt itself in the particular habitat or environment. That is called genotypic adaptation. And the subpopulations which are found or which are formed are called ecotypes. So my dear children, I hope you have understood what is phenotypic adaptations and the genotypic adaptations. Now the variation does not occur only variations occurs in all the organisms. It is not that it occurs only in few organisms. It occurs in plants as well as in animals. And with that variations, the plants and animals adapt themselves in the changing environment. So let us see which are the different adaptations that occurs in the plants. Now first we will start with the xerophytic plants. Now this xerophytic plants, what are the xerophytic plants? These are the plants which are found in deserts. Plants which are found in deserts are called the xerophytic plants. Now let us see which are the different adaptations in xerophytic plants. The first adaptation is roots grow very deep. Okay, when the roots grow very deep, why do the roots grow very deep? They grow deep so that they can explore more water. Okay, so let me write it here. Okay, they grow deep to explore more water. Okay, the second one is under different environmental stress conditions, proline, which is an osmolyte, is produced. Okay, when there are different stress conditions, the xerophytic plants produces proline. Proline is what? It is an osmolyte. Now what is an osmolyte? Osmolyte is low molecular weight organic compound that influences the properties of biological fluids. Okay, it is low molecular weight organic compound. Right, that influences the properties of biological fluids. Clear? Now the third adaptation is thick cuticle on the leaf surfaces. When the thick cuticle is produced on the leaf surfaces, cuticle is the outermost layer outside the epidermis. So when the thick cuticle is produced on the leaf surfaces, there will be less loss of water from the leaf. Okay, through transpiration process. The fourth adaptation is special photosynthetic pathway that is known as crassulacean acid metabolism, CAM. Means they undergo, xerophytic plants, they undergo special photosynthetic pathway. Special type of photosynthetic pathway is been found in xerophytic plants, which is called crassulacean acid metabolism pathway. Okay, in this pathway the stomata remains closed during daytime so that there is minimum loss of water through transpiration. Right? Understood? In this pathway CAM, the stomata will remain closed so that there will be minimum loss of water through the stomata during with the transpiration process. Now the fifth adaptation which is found in xerophytic plant is leaves are modified to spines to prevent the loss of water. Okay, the leaves, they are modified, they are converted into spines to prevent the loss of water. Okay, and this is found, this type of adaptation is found in Opuntia. Even in Opuntia, the photosynthesis occurs in the flattened stem. Why? Because the leaves are modified into spines, right? So photosynthesis does not occur in leaves, it occurs in the stem, which are flat, thick and fleshy. And the last adaptation which is observed in the xerophytic plant is that stomata are arranged in deep pits to prevent the water loss. Okay, they are arranged in deep pits. Pits means gadde. Okay, so stomata, they are arranged in the deep pits so that there is less water loss from the plants. Now let us see the next slide. That is about adaptation in hydrophytic plants. Now hydrophytic plants are the aquatic plants. The aquatic plants are the hydrophytic plants. The different adaptations which are being found is, the first one which is being found is they have evolved parenchyma. Now you have already studied in 9th standard that parenchyma provides buoyancy, and due to buoyancy the plants can float. Due to buoyancy the plants can float on the surface of the water. The plants or the plant parts can float on the surface of the water. The second adaptation is they have covering of wax, and the third adaptation is the roots generally are absent in the plants like hydrilla and nymphia. Okay, now let us see about the adaptations in halophytic plants. Halophytic plants are the plants which are observed or which are present, which grow in the saline areas. Saline areas means where the salt concentration is more. Salt concentration is high. In that areas the halophytic plants are produced, and halophytic plants can tolerate the high concentration of salts in their rooting medium, and they obtain water supply from the same. Even though areas are saline, means they have more salt concentration and water logging takes place, they manages to get the water from such area, and they are found in the tidal marshes. Marshes are the low-lying areas. Marshes are low-lying areas where the water gets filled up, okay, or water logging takes place. Then coastal dunes. Coastal dunes means this dunes are the small hills which are present at the near the coastal areas. Then mangroves. Mangroves are the regions or the areas which have excess salt, and along with that they have excess water. Okay, so mangroves are what? They are the areas which have excess salt and water. So anaerobic conditions are produced in the mangroves and in the saline soils. And certain green algae are also found in these areas. Example is Dunelila. Okay, this is the example of green algae which is found in the saline areas. The adaptation, now yes, if the areas are mangrove, then what happens? The roots have to manage themselves to get water, to get air, right? So a number of plants produces or they possess small negatively geotropic vertical roots. Negatively geotropic means the roots grow in the opposite direction of gravity, right? So the roots grows above the soil or above the ground, and such roots are called nematophores. Okay, and they take the air through lenticels. Now the fourth adaptation which is observed in xerophytic plants is vivipary or seed germination. Okay, in this case what happens is the seed germination or the embryo development in this case embryo development takes place before the fruit is detached from the plant. Okay, that is when the fruit is attached to the plant, the embryo gets developed or the seed germination takes place. Example in Rhizophora. Let us see the next slide. Okay, so that is all for this video, for today's lecture. We will study about adaptations in animals in our next video. I hope you have understood today's topic. Thank you.